What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Rom back with another video slash vlog. More of a recap of Malaysia because Malaysia was definitely surprising to say the least. As you can see, I am back in my home, Thailand, land of smiles. Love it here. But I will say this again, pleasantly surprised by Malaysia. And I just wanted to go over and share my thoughts and why I think guys should definitely consider Malaysia. If Thailand is not your cup of tea, if the Philippines is not your cup of tea, if the Indonesia is not your cup of tea, um, or even Vietnam, Malaysia might be right up there with all of those countries as well. And I would argue that I wouldn't even say it's a hidden gem. I would say it might be more popular than people think, which is the first thing I want to talk about. I was very, very pleasantly surprised at how many foreigners were in Kuala Lumpur. Even though I know, it's the capital, and obviously there's sites that a lot of tourists go there and see. I can understand to some degree, but I'm talking about the amount of foreigners that are living there. Like for example, the guy that was the host for my Airbnb that I was staying in. If you go back a few videos, you can check out and see the room that I had. Really, really nice room. Um, Only thing I didn't like was that it didn't have a TV, but outside of that, it was a really nice room. In the heart of everything. This guy's been living in Malaysia for 10 years. And I'm like, he looked like he couldn't have been that much older than me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what in the hell? And then every time I went to the elevator, I'm seeing people from all over the world. Um, had a small talk with a guy that was from England. Seen a few other guys that was from the United States, obviously. And it was just kind of like, damn, bro, it's a lot of foreigners out here. Um, African women. Surprisingly, a decent amount of African women, which kind of leads me to the second thing. I was surprised that I want to say Malaysian women, from what I can tell, whether it was me being out in public or swiping on Tinder, seemed like they really ain't checking for brothers like that. But when it came to them African women, oh, they on you, boy. They on us heavy. I will say that, and there's some beautiful ones out there. So, um, yeah, it was unfortunate because I came across one who was from Kenya. Gosh, she was beautiful, but she ended up hitting me back the day that I left and came back to Thailand. So it was like, well, that ain't gonna work out. But yeah. So as far as dating goes, it probably wouldn't be for me. But you know, y'all might have a different experience than what I had. So it is what it is. But from that aspect, not to mention it is a Muslim country, you're also going to see a lot of women covered up. Who, by the way, those women will be attractive as well. So I mean, at the end of the day, you never know. Like I said, y'all experience might be different than mine on that part. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really looking like that. I just knew that when I popped into a new country and once my location popped up, once I sat still for a minute, all of a sudden I'm getting these likes on Tinder and I'm just happening to take a look and I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a couple of likes from Malaysian women, but it wasn't too many. It was mostly African women. Now, about about the cost of things and what have you. Um, Again, pleasantly surprised. Um, so for y'all that don't know, um, when I looked at the exchange rate, a dollar was worth about 5 Malaysian ringgit. So, which is kind of made it a little bit easier to estimate how much things cost because that's very similar to the Brazil exchange rate. I don't know, but last time I checked, I think it's getting close to 6. Or it is 6 now. Last time I checked, I know people been bringing it up, bringing it to my attention, and in group chats and what have you. But that kind of makes it easy to gauge. So, like for example, uh, my SIM card was about 50 Malaysian ringgit. So that came up to like, what, about $5. Um, if I'm doing my math right, yeah, or is that 10? No, that's 5. So, no, actually, I take that back. I think it was a little bit more than that. It might have been 100. I can't remember, but I remember it doing the math, and it only came up to like $10 or $11. But I can't remember exactly how much it was. But I remember doing the math, and I was like, "Oh, damn, that was only about $10, $11. Okay, cool." Um, Now they did get me on the ride because I was trying to be convenient, and I just took a taxi that was already there. Because with it being my first time there, I was trying to make it easy as was possible for me. That was like 250 ringgit, which, looking back, when I ordered a boat on the way back to the airport coming from my Airbnb, it was way cheaper. It was like 80. It was like 80 something Malaysian ringgit. 250 Malaysian ringgit. Uh, that's like, man, that's like $50. So in comparison to like 80 something, which is like not even 20. So then I'm like, there it again. But I always tell you guys, if you want to save yourself money, always order Bolt or Grab, but preferably Bolt because Bolt is going to be cheaper. Um, but be honest with you guys, that was more so about convenience and it being my first time there. So I didn't want to go through the hassle. I was just trying to hurry up and get to where I was going um, safely and quickly as possible. Um, but yeah, trust and believe, I definitely ordered that boat on the way back and it was way cheaper. But I mean, like, even when I went to the Batu Caves, I think that only cost me about four or $5 there and back. And that was like a 20, damn near 30-minute ride because, it's kind of somewhat on the outskirts, but not really on the outskirts in the city, but it's not in the center of the city, obviously, because, it's sitting in the mountains. But, a decent size, that was a decent distance of a ride. And for it to only be about $4 or $5, you know, that was very surprising, as well as how much cheaper American food and fast food restaurants are there in comparison to back home. Like when I bought stuff that Americano coffee at Starbucks, that cup had to be, I would say it was probably a little bigger than this. Probably about right here, probably a little bigger than this. And it came up to nine Malaysian ringgit and some change. So I'm like, it's like $2. Like, what the hell? I'm like, y'all Starbucks is this inexpensive? I'm thinking to myself now, a regular cup of coffee with cream and sugar in Starbucks is probably about $10, $12. I've never been to a Starbucks in America. I've only been to them overseas, and I'm glad I am because I'm almost 100% positive that they're probably about 4 to 5 times more in America. That's crazy as hell. All your fast food restaurants, Burger King, McDonald's, they even have a Five Guys out there, and that was less expensive than the Five Guys in the States. And I know that because I gave me and my mom Five Guys when I took her to Tennessee. So that was the other thing, man. Pleasantly surprised by the how inexpensive Malaysia is. Um, and another thing that surprised me is the nightlife, the variety of nightlife that they have seems a little bit different. I would say it's probably not as popping as Thailand, but I think I was proud. pleasantly surprised to say the least. Um, but outside of that, yeah, I can't really say I can't complain about anything. The people were really friendly. I would say the only thing I would probably say, the other thing I was probably really surprised at is probably how well the people speak English there. But when you think about how many foreigners you're going to see when you go there, it kind of makes sense why so many Malaysian people speak English pretty well. I will argue from my short time there, they might speak better English than Thai people. Um, just an observation from my short amount of time there. Obviously, I spent more time in Thailand, so I can't really say, because I haven't. I was only down there for 11 nights, but from the people that I did speak to, especially like my taxi drivers, like their English was really good. Um, so I would say that was probably another surprise as well, man. But other than that, highly recommend you guys go there. I'm definitely gonna go back, and when I do go back, I want to check out some other cities when I do. Um, and yeah, the people are friendly, good food, uh, clean, not much of a language barrier. Um, just all in all, good, bro. Not really much to complain about, to be honest with you. I just recommend guys go and just see for themselves and um, just see what it's like for sure, man. I'm like Malaysia, all right, bro. Malaysia's all right. But at the end of the day, Thailand is home, man. Anyway, that's all I want to let you guys know on that. Um, again, recommend you guys go if it's ever been on your mind on going. And next video will be me back in Thailand, man. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And I'm out of here. Deuces.